Are you trying to figure out your next career move, or perhaps considering a career change? I want to share with you a very useful tool that I used and that actually led to me starting a YouTube channel. And if you stick around, I'll take you through the motions. And I'll also drop a download link for you in the description below. So disclaimer, I'm not a career coach, but I've gotten further with this strategy than I've ever gotten with any career coaching that I've attended. Since I started seriously thinking about a career in high school, it has been 20 years and 3 careers later. Yes, I just couldn't seem to figure out what is that one thing that would tie together everything that I enjoy or that I'm perhaps good at. So here is an 8-step process with a bonus 9-step that I followed to figure out where I think I wanted to go. And I'm hoping that it can help you in some way as well. So I use a table format. Okay, in the first column, write down everything that you've ever done in terms of a hobby or a task or a project. You don't necessarily have to like it, just write down what you've done. So some of mine was, for instance, I was a waitress at some point, spent a hell of a lot of time reading. I used to do lots of pencil drawings, I used to do paintings. I was an au pair at some point, I did nursing. In the next column, write down why you liked it or what about it you actually liked. Just what you liked, not what you disliked. And it could be anything. It could be the flexibility that it offered, or like the workplace model if it's like waitressing and you had shifts, or working with kids if it was an au pair. So write down what you like. Then in column 3 you do the opposite. You write down everything that you disliked about the job or why you didn't like it. So for me, waitressing, to be 100% client facing is definitely not something I want to do full time. But what I disliked about nursing, for instance, was that it lacked creativity. I enjoyed the babies and dressing them and that kind of thing, but it was not enough to really fulfill the creativity aspect that I was missing. Then in step 4 we take it one step further. So in the 4th column, write down what you were really good at. So now we don't think about what you like or what you don't like. It's just what are you good at. So maybe I didn't enjoy the client-facing part of waitressing, but maybe I was really good at organizing and timekeeping. When I did that, I could get the orders on time. Your job might require some work on Excel, and you might not enjoy Excel, but you might be really good at it. Write it down, you never know how it can fit in. Now in step 5, you can move from the table and you can just look overall. Start putting together themes that you can identify. For instance, when I looked at my light column, a lot of things that came out was I liked being creative when I was drawing, I liked being creative writing stories or painting. So clearly I like creating things. So that was a theme. When it comes to disliking, I didn't like all the interaction with waitressing, people being rude and running late on orders and dealing with customer complaints. I also didn't like dealing with difficult visitors or difficult patients. They annoyed me in nursing. So that theme was basically, I do not want to be customer facing in any job. I can do aspects of it, but definitely not full time. It's definitely going to make me miserable. And now it's time to start mixing things up. In step 6, I used a Venn diagram and I had my 3 circles. And in circle 1, I wrote down themes of what I liked doing. In circle 2, I wrote down my skills. This is now the skills from step 4. Whether you liked it or not, it's just something that you were really good at. And in the last circle, I started getting a little bit philosophical. What did I want from life? It could be practical things, so I wanted to have a car, I wanted to have a house, I wanted to get married, I wanted to have kids. But then also look at career. What did I want from my career? I would have loved to start my own business. I would love to move to Europe and live there. So write down what is important for you, what do you want out of life. And now if you use to a Venn diagram, you know that there's aspects that overlap. So use the first 2 circles and you see what from those circles. So what you enjoy, what your skills are, what can potentially overlap and what can you group together. Maybe I take creating things from circle 1 and good canvas skills on circle 2. And then if you put it together, consider what kind of career could that be. And write it down. Search. This takes a little bit of time, but it's a process, right? Okay, so I could potentially go into graphic design. It doesn't have to include circle 3 yet. Just write down the options. And mix and match different things. Take one skill, one thing that you like, take 2 skills or 2 things that you like and start putting them together. And when you have a nice list, then you take that list and you look at circle number 3 and you see what from those things will fit into your long-term career plans. Say for instance, I look at the option of becoming a graphic designer. How does it fit into my long-term goals? So I want to be traveling full-time. Can I do that as a graphic designer? I don't know. And now you're getting to step 8. What is a practical implication of that kind of career? How long will it take? What are the finances or the time that you need to invest? I don't have a degree in graphic design, which means I'm going to have to get some kind of certificate. If I had to pursue a certificate, would it be a 1-year certificate? Would it be a degree? It will only be for the short term. It's not going to be forever. So is it something that I'm willing to consider? Then maybe highlight it, maybe write it down somewhere else. And then step 9, which is a bonus step. Ask yourself, what is your unfair advantage? What do you have that no one else has? Or what can you add to something that everybody else is doing that will actually set you apart? So if you pursue a career in graphic design and you start your own agency, maybe you are really great at Excel at the same time. And maybe you don't have a graphic design company, but you design and sell Excel templates. So for people doing project management or people wanting to build dashboards, you can create beautiful dashboards because you've got the design aspect, but because you are also really good at Excel, you can put it together in one, and that is a very rare thing. Not many people can, for instance, combine those two. And to bring it back to the beginning, this is how I started the YouTube channel, and I am still figuring out what exactly this is about. But I got to the point where I wanted to do content creation. I liked online teaching, and somehow through that process, I realized that, YouTube is such a great opportunity to start with because it can also lead to building my own business if I have an audience. So I hope this kind of makes sense, that you can see how you start putting together small little things. And I'm not saying this is the ultimate thing for me. There are a lot of other things that I'm still enjoying, but somehow for the first time I got more clarity about what I really wanted to do. And as long as I enjoy 80% of what I do, that's okay. I don't need to enjoy 100% because I think that's unrealistic. There's always going to be some 20% admin or editing or something that's really not a lot of fun. But I want to get to a point where I enjoy at least 80% of what I do. And this process really worked for me. To give it a go, it's free. Maybe it just kicks something into gear and you start thinking about more ideas. If you find it helpful, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know what you are up to. And if you are still unsure whether you want to make a career change or perhaps considering getting out of your job and you don't know which way to go, check out this video where I go through the motion of how I decided whether I wanted to get out or get better and how I got to that decision. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.